Hello, everyone. I'm Lobby Clint. Welcome to Inner Peace Time. As always, it's great to be here online with all of you, whether you're watching from Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Just a moment. Seems like Facebook is not starting quite yet. Oddly. There's always something, right? But anyways, I hope everyone's doing well. And of course, let me say hello to everyone. Hello, Eric. Hi, Wendy and John. Thanks for joining here on Zoom. Hello, Julie on YouTube. And Facebook is still being very, very silly for some reason. Let me see here. Sorry for a little technical difficulties. It happens here and there. Oh, looks like it's starting. Ah, there we go. All right. So, hello everyone on Facebook. I think it's now starting to work as it's supposed to. It happens. Hello, Pinui. Thanks for joining here on Zoom. And thank you, Julie. She says beautiful background. As yes, it has been snowing here in Canada. Today it's raining, but I had this prepared. So, and today I'm not using the main hall because, at least just not today. I didn't have time to prepare and couldn't get it ready in time. But instead, today, get to show you some of the snow. This is actually the snow from our old house, so this is footage from last year. And this is from where I currently am, or right outside. I'm not in the snow, all right, I promise. As that's our meditation hall from the outside. It's like a green barn garage. It's like a sleeper temple. You don't realize it's a meditation hall inside. But anyways, I hope everyone's been doing well, and of course, I hope you've all been practicing. Continue to practice your meditation. A little bit a day goes a long way. And that's the thing about meditation. It's the practice, taking the time to do it here and there, little by little, so that we can gain the benefits. So, as we practice together today, remember that meditation is very simple. Just two steps: relaxation and awareness. That's all it is. Allow yourself to first relax, be comfortable, sitting comfortably, not forcing yourself. And then, once you're comfortable, is letting your mind be comfortable to be able to calm down or let your mind rest. And we don't try by throwing away our old thoughts or this and that. It's actually more so allowing our mind to stay with one thing comfortably. So as we practice, this is why I like to say visualize an object, a meditation object or image. It tends to be a nice way to help us stay with one thing rather than everything. And of course, if your mind does wander, that's okay. You're normal. Okay, this doesn't mean that you're not good at meditation. You are normal. Everyone has a wandering mind here and there. And it's as we practice, we learn how to bring our mind back instead of let it to drift off and off. So when you realize it, it's a good thing because now you can bring it back. Go back to your object, back to your center. And of course, do not force too much. Do not try too hard. Meditation should never feel like work. It should feel like a mini vacation. So as we practice together, take your time, take it easy. Allow yourself to really release, relax, or as one of my masters or one of my friends would say, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. So, is everyone ready for some meditation? Okay, then again, remember, get into your perfect position, as I like to call it, because it's perfect for you. And when you're ready, gently close your eyes. Take in a deep breath. Breathe in the cool, calm, relaxing air. And breathe out all your worries, thoughts, and responsibilities. Just let it all go. forget about it for the time that we are meditating. Just breathe in, breathe out. Let each breath of fresh air help you become more relaxed, more comfortable. Relaxation is such a very important first step. It's not being lazy, it's not a waste of time. It's a way to prepare ourselves to go in deeper and easier. Not by forcing, not by pushing. Because if you start to force or push, or even trying too hard to achieve inner peace, while normally trying harder is a good thing, but in meditation, it actually slows you down, because then you're adding force to relaxation. Just like you cannot force yourself to relax, you can't force yourself to achieve inner peace. We must allow it to happen naturally. If you try to do it forcefully, it's like you force and force and force until you break. And why I say break is because you force to the point where you just have no more energy to force anymore. In other words, you finally relaxed. We always teach relaxation, then awareness. Or you could say, let it go, then let it be. Many people misunderstand, thinking that they must first let it be. For example, if you were holding a weight in your hands in front of you, suppose it's only 1 pound, not too heavy. You might be able to hold it for 5-10 minutes easily. If you're a little stronger, you might be able to do it for 15 to an hour. But even though it's only 1 pound, it's not that heavy. It starts to feel heavy the longer you hold it. Your muscles start to get tired. This is like letting it be before you let go. You're still holding on, and then it builds up pressure and tension until eventually your arm gives out and you drop the weight, unable to lift your arm again, at least for a while. And in the end, it was like you're forcing yourself to finally relax. Because now that you cannot lift your arm is now relaxing. Literally forced yourself to relax. Because now you can't do anything at all. This is a way I do not recommend. We start with relaxation. Allow yourself to be at ease, be comfortable. Not force or push. So be comfortable. Any position or posture that feels right to you is fine. While there is a connection of body and mind, the first thing we need to do is allow our body to feel comfortable. This way, we can let go of the body, allowing us to go inward and not be stuck just following our body. So give yourself time to relax. Some of us need 5 minutes. Some of us maybe 15 or 20. Take your time. You don't need to rush. Also, even after you find your perfect position, the position that feels perfect to you, you might notice you need to adjust again. You feel a little discomfort. It's okay to move, because those minor adjustments will be the difference between enduring and enjoying. And we should be enjoying our meditation. Enjoying in the sense that it's not making you feel tired. It's not making you feel drained. It's allowing you to recharge, to rest. So give yourself time, especially if it might be your first time meditating, or even if it's your first time in a long time. Give yourself time to relax, to find that perfect position for you, as the perfect position can change each time we meditate, and even during the meditation. So don't be so quick to think that your body's not fit for meditation. Make adjustments for now. Little by little, we find the way that works best. And if you like the meditation poses and positions, I would recommend stretching to add flexibility. But you can do that another time. But while we practice meditation, don't worry too much about how you look. No one really cares. Especially now we're online. Only one on the camera is me. And even I don't care. So be comfortable, take your time, make adjustments. And once your body feels comfortable, we move on to the next step, consciousness or focus. But this focus is light. It's not overly focused. It's not stressful or forceful. It's more like the focus we have when we watch TV or look out in a scenic view. You're focused, but you're also comfortable. That's the balance we're looking for. But instead of focusing outward, we bring that focus inward. And one way to help us is to have our mind focus on one thing. Something simple, easy, relaxing. I recommend the full moon because it's bright and shining, but not blinding. It's calming and cooling. But your meditation object can be anything at all. Perhaps you like a certain flower, and visualize that flower. Or maybe a dish that you like, a dessert that you like. Something simple but comfortable. When I was a teenager, my object was a Lamborghini, a very detailed one object. But it helped keep my teenage mind relaxed and comfortable, just visualizing that dream car. But as my mind became more calm, my object became more general. From that very detailed Lamborghini, it turned into just simply car, eventually wheel, and then finally what I like to use today, crystal ball or the full moon. Notice how I have two different objects that I like to visualize, depending on how I feel that day. Some days I just like clarity, so I visualize the crystal ball. Some days I feel like a cool white light, so I visualize the full moon. It's okay to change your object each time you meditate, but do our best not to change too often within one session. Here and there, not too bad. But suppose you went from one object to the next object to the next object almost immediately. It's a good time to reset and restart, because now you're simply thinking objects. Our meditation is learning how to slow down, learning how to stop. Because when our mind finally stops thinking, there is clarity, there's vastness, and in that clarity and vastness, there's bliss and peace. But it does take time. We spend our whole lives practicing how to think. We think so much we tend to plan about everything. We even start planning about planning. So while our mind has been trained very well to think all the time, now we're trying to learn or practice slowing down to allow our mind to take a break, not need to be thinking all the time. I know some people feel that your thoughts are very important, feeling like that is who you are. But I can tell you, letting go of your thoughts is not throwing them away or forgetting about them. It's more like placing down and not carrying. Because even though our thoughts are weightless, they have no mass, but they weigh us down, especially the more we think about them. And this is why we learn to place them down, not to carry them all the time. As carrying your thoughts is having your mind focused on it. As you focus more and more, think more and more about it, it starts to weigh on you. You start to feel drained, low energy, unable to think clearly. Decision making goes down. Ability to think and process also goes down. So this skill of learning how to meditate and learning how to let go is actually very beneficial. Being able to place those thoughts down can be very refreshing. Even if you let go of only one thought out of your hundreds of thousands of thoughts, you'll start to feel the benefits. So take your time. We're not masters. We are all practicing. So don't think you're supposed to be perfect right away, even after hundreds of hours or hundreds of sessions. I've been meditating for over 25 years. I personally consider myself a beginner, but I know, due to my practice and my experience, I'm able to calm down a lot easier than those who are just starting out. But feeling as though you're a beginner allows you the flexibility to go in deeper and deeper. But if you feel like you should be a master, that expectation holds you back, because then you unintentionally start to try too hard. Then the knowledge and understanding of meditation that you have goes down the drain, not using it the way you should. So remember to take your time, relax your body, relax your mind. Now, let us continue in silence, letting our mind be calm, clear, and peaceful. Mo. Arahant. Mo. Arahant. Mo. Arahant. Now, let us begin spreading loving kindness. Spreading loving kindness is like spreading out your heart, sending out good intentions to all beings. So let us visualize our object as we have been doing, and imagine that your object becomes crystal clear, clean and bright, and at the center of your object there is a bright light. This light is very special. All those who touch this light are instantly happier, healthier, and more at peace. So we let this light illuminate our body, filling our body with light. Then let this light shine out from you, filling the room. And let this light spread far and wide, filling the city, filling the state or province, filling the country and the surrounding country, until filling the entire world and now throughout the universe. Thinking of our loved ones, our family, our friends, our close and distant relatives, our co-workers, acquaintances, all the people you know, and all the people you don't know, to all sentient beings, all the animals in this world, and even thinking to the heavens, to our friends and relatives who have passed away, wishing well for every one of them. And as we are spreading loving kindness, let us make this wish together for us all to be happy, healthy, wealthy, successful, to gain wisdom, attain enlightenment, for world peace. Let us take a moment to make our own good wishes. Sappe Buddha Varapata Pacheka Nanchayang Palang Arahanta Nanjate Narakam Pantami Sapaso Sapaputanupavena Sapathammanupavena Sapasanghanupavena Saddha Soti Bhagwantu Te. And now, very gently and at your own pace, opening your eyes. Take your time as we slowly come back. You can take in a few deep breaths, do a little stretch if you'd like, as we slowly come back. How is everyone feeling? As always, take a moment to notice how you feel right now, now that we finish the meditation. As each time we meditate, it's either a good session or an almost good session. There are no bad sessions. Because each time we practice, it's always something a little bit different. We get to learn what works, what doesn't work, and helps us continue to improve little by little. And I see more people have come in. Hello, Pat. Hello, Darsha. Hello, Ron. And hello, Miriam. Thanks for joining in. Also, hello, Jintana on Facebook and Hakuzo on YouTube. So, before we go into questions and comments, but of course, you're always welcome to send them in, I'd like to share some little words of wisdom from my master. As for today, the quote is called, "We are the light." When we become the light, the world will be brighter. We are lucky to have seen the light before many, so we must share it with them. Starting from the smallest world we know, our family, then expand to the workplace, and become brighter and brighter wherever we go. In this case, the light that he's talking about is our inner wisdom, that inner peace we start to gain from meditation. So when we have it ourselves, we become this light of peace, starting to share it with those around us. But just because might be the only one at the moment that knows this, you don't have to be the only one always. It's good to share the light, share this understanding and knowledge of meditation, or of how to find peace. Sometimes you don't even have to call it meditation. Simply reminding them how to be a bit more mindful, to take some time to rest, let your mind take a break, not to focus on everything all the time. So share this wisdom with friends and family that are open to it. Because in the end, a lot of people have asked me, how do I share meditation with my friends or people like in general? I said, we have to be like, it's like the old quote, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Okay? So what does this mean? We're like the water. We have the cool water ready for them whenever they're ready to drink, whenever they're ready to accept or learn, or when they ask. You're there to share the information. But never ever are we going to push them in the water and make them drown. We don't want to force in any way, okay? So be the nice, cool, calm water, sharing the wisdom when they ask, or giving little bits. Oh yeah, this is what I do. I think it would be great for you. Not interested? Okay, no problem. If you aren't interested, here, I meditate online with this monk. Something like that is okay, because sharing, not forcing, that's something that's important. Because if it's ever forced, it doesn't quite work very well. But when you share the information, it's like, oh, that's interesting. At least now they know, and then little by little, if they feel like it's something that can help them, they'll ask you again. So at least they know that you're a friend that they can ask. Okay, so now I open the floor to you all. If anyone has any questions or wonders, feel free to turn on your mic if you'd like, if you're here on Zoom, or you can ask on the chat, whichever you're watching from. Of course, if you are watching on Facebook, I am streaming to several pages at once. So if you don't see my face at the top corner, very likely I can't see your comment right now, but I'll always go back and reply. Or as you can see down here, the QR code is a direct link to all my social media, so you guys can have several ways you can contact me. And of course, I'm always happy to get to know you all, get to connect. As many of you who are here, whether on YouTube, Facebook, or Zoom, we contact regularly, so it's all good. Okay. Today, no questions. No problem. Sabai, sabai. Then one more little bit of advice. As you practice meditation each day, or at least I hope you all practice a little bit a day, remember always quality over quantity. Okay? What I mean by this is whenever you meditate, get the good feeling from the meditation. Don't feel like you need to reach a certain amount. It's nice to have a goal. For example, A nice simple goal to start off if you're starting off. 15 minutes a day is a good starting out, good start goal. Now, we meditated in class for a little over 40 minutes. When you practice on your own, you might meditate, okay. After a little while, like, I felt like the 40 minutes we did in class. You open your eyes, 3 minutes. This is a very normal thing that happens. It's a different feeling when you meditate with a group than when you meditate alone. So, always quality over quantity. While it feels good, keep it up. If it's starting to feel like you're enduring it, you're forcing, take a break. It's okay. Okay. Oh, so I see a question on YouTube. Haku was saying, is inner happiness just the absence of suffering, or is it acceptance of what it is? It's a little bit of both, but it's oddly there is something that happens. Um, like I showed you guys before, I don't really want I don't like to tell you what's going to happen next because then you start to expect it, and then that expectation holds you back. It's like no spoilers. That's what I like to say, kind of like a movie. So in a way, it is indeed absence of suffering, for sure. But it's interesting because something does happen that increases that inner happiness. Or it's more a closer word would be bliss. It's this it's very it's very joyous. Like not just happy, like it's a very short term like that's nice. It's more like almost like a fulfillment feeling. Okay? So that's just an example without giving too much away. And that's just the start. That's just like the tip of the iceberg. But it's when our mind's finally calm, quiet, that this starts to be able to come out. Because it's how our master explains it. It's within us all along. But because of everyday thoughts, wonders, worries, everything that we just clutter our mind with, it covers it up. Kind of like a cloudy day. You look up in the sky, oh, there's no sun today. Of course there's the sun. That's why we can see, right? But we can't see the sun, but we can see that there's light still shining through. Uh, but in this case, it's more like it's a storm. That's how our life, how most of our lives are like. It's just a storm. There's always something, and that is kind of how life is. So when we finally have clear sky, oh wow. Although it's like you're living in a place that's just perpetually stormy. So so the sun comes up, nice for a little bit, and then with the practice, little by little, get it to clear out a bit more. So yeah. Oh, I was saying the YouTube lag is making my messages take longer. Yes, this is why I recommend anyone who's watching live. I do recommend joining on Zoom because at least it's quick. But I do usually wait a good 10 seconds before I move on. That's why I start talking about something else first, as I know the lag is pretty bad, and this is already on the low lag setting. So, uh, continue practicing. It's all about finding our balance, finding a schedule or routine to keep for our meditation. And of course, quality over quantity. That's something that I emphasize a lot. Because if you only, for example, within the temple, we have a goal that we set at least 2 hours a day. But this is people inside the temple. Due to, even for monks, we tend to have a lot of responsibilities. So sometimes it's hard to get that time in. So we kind of force ourselves to make sure we have that time. But if you are working, like you're a layperson, you're not within the temple, it's even more difficult to get that. So do what you can. The quality is what's important. The quantity is more of a make sure you have time to do it. But if you don't have time to do it, whatever time you have is quality time you can do. Okay? Because if you're just going to force yourself to 2 hours, all right, got through it, but there was not even a speck of peace within the entire 2 hours. No good. Then you're just enduring, okay? You don't need to endure. Do your best to release, relax. Even if all you get is a bit of just comfort and relaxation, that's still good. Even if you accidentally turn it into a nap, still better than nothing. But if you're just sitting there forcing, pushing, unfortunately, that's just, it's not very beneficial. So at least try your best to find some calm, some relaxation in whatever time you have. And then little by little, as the quality goes up, you'll add more time naturally. Okay? So keep it up, everyone, little by little, because the peace that we gain is what we need in our daily lives. As we start to have it in our daily lives, you'll start to see that your daily life becomes a bit more manageable, a bit more tolerable, a bit more peaceful. And then you'll just continue to be okay. So I hope you all continue your practice. And before we go, I'd like to give you all a blessing. May you all be blessed with happiness, good health, wealth, success in your lives. May you be surrounded by good friends who will always guide you into light in times of darkness and in times of need. And when you close your eyes to meditate, may you attain inner peace easily and quickly in every lifetime. So thank you again, everyone. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you're watching from. And remember, a smile a day keeps the stress away. So everyone, keep smiling. Let's brighten up the world together. So for everyone on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, take care. And for those on Zoom, feel free to stay longer if you'd like to chat. Take care, everyone.